While being a trillionaire is an insane amount of money, it still should not be triggering to anyone else. I am not sure just why so many people have strong emotions about the amount of money that other people make, especially when they have no real concept of what that person does, the skills that they may uniquely hold, and their individual life story. In reality, none of us are paid exclusively because of our life story, skill set, or job responsibility. People are compensated based on the combination of the quality of output, reputation, productiveness, and connection to the consumer of produced goods, service, or other work product that is willing to exchange money or value for that. Compensation is derived from supply and demand. How many people can supply what you provide to your employer or other prospective employers? What is the value they gain from it that they will be willing to pay for exclusive access to you? If you look around the room at your place of employment and you truly feel that anyone in sight can do what you do without skipping a beat, then you are not well positioned for income mobility. That is not an issue of generational theft, systemic racism, or bias. It is a result of not developing competitive advantages that make you perceived as more desirable to employers. Rather than reading about billionaires and trillionaires and feeling emotional about their lifestyles compared to yours, take the time to see what makes them unique in their space and how they were able to develop that brand and monetize it. Why do investors feel more comfortable doing business with them than you? Maybe they have a better network? What have you done to grow your network and sphere of influence? Are you a member of a professional network in your field? Are you attending conferences and events to meet people and decision makers? What are you doing inside your company's own walls to help people know your work product, quality, and ambitions? Many times we do not do enough. A major reason why entrepreneurs succeed at high growth rates is because they understand that they cannot fear failure. They have to fear not trying more than failing, because they understand that there is a valuable lesson in every failure, but many consequences of not even attempting to pursue every potential opportunity. They may do cost-benefit analysis, but may be more risk-preferred if the perceived payoff is high and will not talk themselves out of it. Successful people understand the potential outcomes and are prepared to deal with the realization of each one, even if they really want to avoid certain ones. And they do not blame others for their outcomes, but push themselves to do better to give decision-makers, partners, or consumers a better reason to say yes instead of no. What generally makes a great salesperson is not simply being able to get a person to say yes, but not accepting a no, and making the conversion an experience that is pleasing to the person they want to earn business from. Sometimes that pursuit may not land the yes, but can plant the seed for a future opportunity. A person may see the outcomes as simply a yes and they get to keep their job, or a no and they now have to work harder to find another yes elsewhere. Another person may see the situation as sacrificing today for a brighter tomorrow, playing the long game versus seeking quick, fleeting short-term wins. Successful people tend to try to find value, not just revenue. Are process-focused rather than solely result-focused. Rather than just earning one more day at your organization, how do you create streams of successes that provide stable returns? Stop seeing everything as obstacles and injustices and see them as opportunities. Support protecting opportunity, because those protections could benefit you if you make the right moves.
There is a level of economic illiteracy in our society that fuels the hysteria around wage disparities in our economy. An entrepreneur will generally have a greater return on their labor than a lifelong employee. And that does not mean that the workers are being exploited, underpaid, or a victim. In America, people generally work in positions they accept the terms for employment. They look for a job, apply for that position, interview, receive an offer, and accept, counter, or reject that offer. People are not assigned positions like what is done in communist and socialist economies. Certain positions that have less available competition or specialized skill sets will always pay more than ones that do not. And business owners will always have opportunities to earn more while having a greater risk to not earn anything at all. The reason why many people try to compete with companies in industries that they have experience with is because they understand the difference between being an owner of a fairly run business and an employee. The owners will always have the better outcomes, despite the greater risks and stress, because they receive the net income. So you can pay your workers what is statistically fair market wages or a bit more, manage your other costs, and invest in your growth and future and still have a good amount left over. The goal of every business, large, medium, or small, is to operate as efficiently and effectively as possible, and grow the customer base as much as possible. Customers have a need or want that is made by that business and willingly exchange part of their hard-earned income for the good or service produced. Good-run companies are able to earn profits and the business owners keep that profit and invest some of it back into the business. Just because you work in that company does not mean you are entitled to more than what was agreed upon for employment. Sure, there will be natural efforts by workers to seek to revisit their wages based on their record of accomplishment and contribution to the profit and business success. But not every employee actually contributes to the success every year. Some years, they may be a contributor more to the negative than the positive. In some fields, workers eventually decide they want to be on the ownership side and decide to start their own operations. If successful, they will be able to access similar benefits and not be limited to the salary afforded to their position. That is income mobility through entrepreneurship. Some may experience income mobility by taking their record, experience, and proven skills set to the highest bidder with a better position. Income mobility through arbitrage. There are always ways to improve your income, and business owners will always have the potential to earn more if the company does well. They bear all the risks and strategic operations. But because their take is not limited as their risk is not limited. The better they run the organization, the greater their income will be. Not a factor of greed. Simply a difference being an owner retaining the net income and an employee with a defined compensation.
Many people unfortunately allow emotions to fill in gaps created by intellectual shortcomings. Does anyone really believe that a company operates like a pack of wolves where they divide the spoils of a hunt? Only if the company is formed as a partnership and everyone has a defined percentage of net income. Otherwise, you get paid your prescribed salary or income. As long as the check does not bounce, what do you really care about what happens outside of that transaction? As long as the company is solvent and compliant with laws and regulations, meaning as long as the company is still able to pay your salary going forward. Jealousy and greed make you feel like what someone else is getting paid is somehow unjust, when you are getting paid what you negotiated and what you are entitled to. The emotional hysteria blinds us from seeing the absurdity of some of the claims, especially when you look at income data for striking workers, and many times these poor souls who claim oppression and a whole host of other unproven claims are actually making pretty good money, or are far from being oppressed. $1 trillion is an insane amount of money. But it is actually fair in the sense that the value and potential future of SpaceX is tied to Elon Musk and his personal brand. His genius and innovation is a major part of the value proposition that investors see in placing capital in this company. There are certain people that drive up the valuation of the company simply because of association with them. Elon Musk is one of those people, and your goal in life should be to do the same. Are you a value add to your company? If not, then work to be.